It's an annual award which recognises those working in gallery education who've shown dedication and innovation over and above in the work that they're doing. We're delighted to celebrate the achievements of colleagues who support the widest possible audiences, giving access to art and artists. This is the third year that we've had the Marsh Christian Awards here, so it's a great delight that we have Brian here again to make the awards, or to give the awards, but also that we have here today Dorothy Wilson MBE, who is Artistic Director and Chief Executive of MAC in Birmingham, who's going to say a few words in a moment to introduce this. Brian Marsh OBE is Chairman of the Marsh Christian Awards, and he's going to make the presentation. Many of you will have visited MAC this morning as part of the programme before the conference proper started, and will have got a flavour of the educational work that's going on there. The Marsh Awards for Excellence in Gallery Education is one of 65 awards that the Marsh Christian Trust makes, so we're very pleased that they have taken on our sector as one that they would want to support. The range of awards cuts across heritage, literature, conservation, ecology, as well as work in museums and galleries. The Marsh Christian Trust works in partnership with organisations such as Engage to identify the candidates for these awards. In the last 2 years, we've made 8 awards thus far, a further 4 today. Each winner has received £500 to help continue their professional development, which I think is really important for us as an award. I know that Brian in the past has said to me that actually a Marsh Christian Award can go to people in whatever sector it is. They can buy a new washing machine, a fridge, whatever helps them to do their job. But being engaged, we're very keen that you should actually spend that money on professional development. And I think it has been really helpful to the people who've had the awards, and they've used them in all sorts of different ways. We've had, amongst the awards, professionals in the field, we've had volunteers, we've had curators, we've had all sorts of people who contribute to education in galleries, so we're very pleased about that. This year, we've had 31 nominations for the award. Every year we get a large number, and the fact that people don't necessarily win in any year doesn't mean that they're not excellent in their field. It's just that we are really lucky within our sector to have so many people with such huge dedication to their work that we're getting the very, very high quality of awards. So please do reapply next year, even if you didn't get it this year or last year or the year before. The nominations are judged by a panel put forward of experts in the field who work with Marsh Christian Trust in order to do it. This year, the panel, as I say, was hugely impressed by the quality of projects that came forward and the work that people have done from extraordinarily dedicated people working in our sector. So, that said, I'd like to introduce Dorothy Wilson to announce this year's awards and for Brian to make the presentation. Dorothy.
Thank you very much for a warm welcome, and welcome to Birmingham. If I can say that to those of you who perhaps are new to the city or here for the first time for a while. I hope that you'll have time to enjoy many of the riches we have to offer. So it's my really very pleasant duty indeed to announce this year's winners of the Marsh Award for Excellence. And in alphabetical order, they are first of all Claire Gittings, who is Learning Manager for the National Portrait Gallery. Claire has worked with the National Portrait Gallery for the past 24 years. It's quite an achievement. When she began, she was responsible for the gallery's schools programme, which she now delivers to around 15,000 primary and secondary students every year, with an experienced team of freelancers. Until 2011, Claire ran a national video conferencing programme, which reached classrooms across the country. Claire also worked on the National Museum's online learning project WebQuest, for which thousands of pupils take part in sessions remotely each month. Claire regularly hosted trainee teachers on placements and mentored students. As well as her career in gallery education, Claire has curated exhibitions and is a writer and an academic. Claire has just retired from National Portrait Gallery and plans to volunteer at the Museum of Childhood and to use her award to undertake further exhibition research. Claire was nominated by her colleagues at the National Portrait Gallery, who said of her, "Claire has a modesty in her breadth of knowledge of the gallery's collection and is passionate, enthusiastic, and generous in sharing her expertise with her colleagues in London and in her training and advisory role with the staff and volunteers at the gallery's National Trust regional partners in Somerset, Yorkshire and Wales. Claire will be very much missed by her colleagues and school groups." Claire Gittings. Well done, Claire. And the second award winner is Lisa Jaques or Jax? Jax, I'm never sure with that name. Lisa is Learning Officer for Contemporary Art at Leicester City Council. And Lisa receives an award on the strength of her work on the digital learning programme with young people for an exhibition of the work of renowned photographer August Sander, an Artist Rooms touring exhibition at New Walk Museum and Art Gallery in Leicester in last year, 2012-13. Lisa herself trained as a jeweller and has worked in care, learning and the cultural sector. She's worked for Leicester City Council since 2006. For the Sander exhibition, Lisa looked at ways that formal curricular learning and informal learning can be brought together, and she built a partnership with Leicester College's photography department, who agreed to build the Sander exhibition into their curriculum. Alongside classroom teaching and facilitated visits, students' work was publicised through a variety of means, including billboards, bus shelters, and in exhibitions in different venues across the city. And several of the students involved went on to win national and international awards. Social media was used to encourage debate, particularly with young people, about students' work. The programme has been shared as an example of innovative practice using digital technology to engage with young people within and across the visual arts sector. A staff team member says of Lisa, "She is an inspiration to work with, valuing her staff and always ensuring that we have opportunities to extend and enrich our own practice as part of the museum's learning programme, and always providing appropriate and welcome support." Lisa intends to use her award to undertake a master's degree in creative education. Well done, Lisa. Our third award winner is Jenny Mellings, who is a freelance artist educator at SpaceX in Exeter. And Jenny pioneered learning and participation at SpaceX, running children's workshops since 1991, before a formal education programme was established at the gallery. To date, Jenny has run over 1,000 workshop sessions at SpaceX. She has spent many hours preparing children's artwork for display, entering awards, editing films, creating an archive and hanging exhibitions. Sounds like the daily toil, doesn't it, really? Thanks to her efforts, artworks produced by children and young people has won awards and been on display to an audience of millions at Exeter Central Station, Exeter Picture House, and as part of international animation festivals. Participants with whom Jenny has worked have stayed in touch with the gallery as volunteers and as audience members, and many of them have gone on to study art in further and higher education and have been supported by Jenny on their journeys. Her nominators said, "Jenny has been so dedicated to gallery education, yet modest about her achievements, and is perhaps under-recognised for the excellent work she has done in this field over the years." Jenny works as an artist educator across Devon and is also an associate lecturer at the University of Plymouth. And Jenny plans to use her award for training in printmaking with children. Well done, Jenny. And our fourth award winner is Ella Phillips, who is Education Manager at October Gallery in London. And she was nominated for her successful efforts to expand the education programme at October Gallery, securing significant amounts of new funding and developing innovative projects with various groups. Since 2012, Ella has created a highly successful and free early years training programme, improved CPD opportunities for volunteers and emerging artists at the gallery, and she has developed excellent working relationships with cultural, education and third sector organisations. She's also developed programmes to support families visiting prisoners and for trafficked women. Ella has organised sell-out educational symposia and is currently using her community work to inform the development of a model for best practice regarding participatory arts projects. Ella has worked for 10 years in the education sector and was a supporting artist for the Whitechapel Gallery school residency programme from 2011 to 2013. Ella's plan is to use her award to undertake research for her master's degree on evaluating participatory arts projects. Well done, Ella.
So thank you very much, Dorothy. Thank you again to the Marsh Christian Trust for their support for these awards and to the panel of judges. We'd very much like to take this opportunity to encourage nominations for next year and the subsequent years of this award. We've had excellent nominations since 2011 for colleagues who are freelance, employed and volunteers. So please do feel free to nominate colleagues as well as proposing for repeat nominations, as well as proposing new ones. The award programme for 2014 will be announced by Engage in the spring. Thank you very much.